At this time, everyone please be seated. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Samantha Clemens, and over the past 3 years, I have been more than blessed to have been given the opportunity to be class president of the class of 2017. I want to be the first to welcome and thank you all for joining us on this special day. Before continuing on with the commencement, I want to take a couple minutes and simply say thank you to the individuals who have walked this journey with us and encouraged us along the way. To our moms, thank you for giving us a hug when needed, listening to our rants even when they were pointless, and showing us unconditional love and for always cheering us on. To our dads, thank you for also showing us unconditional love, for being tough on us, but reminding us that we are also tough and that we can do anything we set our minds to. To our brothers and sisters, for constantly making us laugh and for truly being our best friends and biggest fans. To our grandparents, you all, what do I even say? Thank you for absolutely everything, for always showing us love and care, and for making us always feel special. To our aunts and uncles, thank you for spoiling us because we weren't yours that you had to keep. You all were the fun ones, but also the ones we depended on to speak truth into our lives when the time was needed. To our cousins, older or younger, we love you all for always giving us something to laugh about. To our best friends, thank you for the fights, the memories, the laughs, the words of encouragement, truth, and complete honesty we have said to one another at needed times. To our teachers from pre-K to high school, administration, coaches, mentors, counselors, and secretaries. We all know sometimes we didn't get along, but thank you for pushing us because you knew our potential and for never giving up on us. To the following people I just mentioned, we thank you and love you all. So class of 2017, can we all give a round of applause? Now we would like to welcome the Butler County Sheriff's Office Color Guard to present the colors of the United States. Senior Seth Allen will now sing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Everyone can now be seated. Please help me welcome our Superintendent of the Edgewood City School District, Mr. Russ Fussnecker.
Good afternoon. It is my privilege to welcome everyone on this beautiful Memorial Day weekend to the Class of 2017 Commencement celebration. I'm honored to be here and take part in this special occasion with each and every one of you. Thank you to the members of our school board for your dedication and commitment to student success in the Edgewood City School District. To the faculty members, thank you for sharing your wisdom and creating safe environments committed to supporting student learning and growth, academically, socially, and emotionally. You have undoubtedly made a significant impact on each and every student here today. To our administrative team, Mrs. Sanders, Ms. Lyman, Mr. Ehlers, thank you for advocating for students and moving Edgewood High School forward. To parents, grandparents, and relatives, thank you for your most precious gift with our faculty and entrusting us with the great responsibility of looking over your children each and every day. I'm sure this is a special moment for you, and I want to tell you that you should enjoy each and every minute. And most importantly, to the students of the class of 2017 and soon to be graduates, I hope that your journey at Edgewood High School has challenged your assumptions and helped you understand the power of learning, forcing you to revisit your priorities and understand that not all questions have a fixed answer. It's my belief that challenges you have encountered throughout the years have prepared you to overcome the challenges that you are certain to face in the future. Tackle the challenges. Tackle them head on and give back to others. This is your moment. It's the beginning of opening doors to all that America promises to each of you today. I know you're more than eager to get your diplomas. So on behalf of everyone here on the stage, I want to say welcome again and congratulations to each of you and best wishes in the future.
At this time, Dennis Weaver to the stage for the student reflection.
Would you please pray with me? Lord, we gather on this beautiful Sunday afternoon to celebrate the accomplishments of the 2017 class of Edgewood High School graduates. We lift up our praise in your name, as we know that you have been there every step of the way, silently guiding us through both the good and bad times. It is on this day we collectively thank you for all the greatness that you have done in our lives. Living in a time where many young people all over the world are denied access to education, you have provided us with an opportunity to learn. In a time where many students' future appears bleak, you have provided us with reason to rejoice at what's to come. In a world where many people of our generation are lost and confused, with no one to turn to, you have provided us with a supportive community that has gone the extra mile to ensure that we have the best possible chance at future success. For all of these blessings, we thank you. As we move forward from this day, each of us taking different paths and pursuing our own individual interests, we ask for your continued blessing. We know that the years we have lived thus far have only been part of your preparation for greater things to come, and we ask that you give us the strength, courage, and patience to carry out the lives you have prepared for us. Whether we plan to continue our education, enter the workforce, join the military, or pursue other ambitions, we ask that you allow each of us individually to accomplish the goals we set forth for ourselves, find love and happiness, and positively impact all those whom we meet over the course of our long journey to come. On this day of such clear achievement, we thank you, Lord, for the friends, family, and community whose impact on this group of graduates has been nothing short of amazing. Lastly, Lord, we thank you for the graduates themselves, whose hard work and dedication has pushed them forward to this great day of success. Amen. Next, I would like to welcome our building principal, Mrs. Adrienne Sanders.
Thank you. My name is Adrienne Sanders. I'm the building principal here at Edgewood High School, and I would first like to say, what an amazing group of students. You guys look great. It's so exciting we're finally here. What I'm going to first start off is we have a lot of special guests here, so I'm going to be going over some names. I would also like to let everyone know we do have a sign language interpreter here in the front, so please, if that is needed, go ahead and take a look here at the front stage. Next, there are many special guests here that I would like to recognize. When I call your name, please stand and remain standing. Please hold the applause until the end. I'm going to start here over to my right. Mrs. Amy Ashcraft, Board President. Mr. Gary Gabbard, Board Vice President. Mrs. Beth Benjamin, Board Member. Mr. Jim Wortley, Board Member. Mr. Tom York, Board Member. Mr. Russ Fussnecker, Superintendent. Mr. Randy Stiver, Treasurer. Mr. John Thomas, Director of Business Operations. Mr. Scott Fussnecker, Director of Teaching and Learning. Mrs. Elisa Beckett, Director of Curriculum. Mr. Chris Andrews, Director of Technology. Mrs. Kate Little, Director of Special Education. Dr. Tom Moffitt, to my left, Human Resource Director. Mr. Eric Rogers, guest speaker, an alumnus of Edgewood High School, class of 1991. Dr. Tom Romano, professor at Miami University and former teacher of Edgewood High School. Mrs. Lori Lyman, assistant principal, Edgewood High School. Mr. Alexander Ehlers, assistant principal, Edgewood High School. Mr. Greg Brown, athletic director, Edgewood High School. Mr. John Graff, Superintendent, CEO of Butler Technology and Career Developmental Schools. Thank you. So, we are we are very pleased to have just wonderful leaders in our school district, and I thank them, and I know our Edgewood High School thanks all of them for all of their hard work. Next, to the students, I'm also going to announce just the names. I know when you've already heard many names, and as you think of today, there's probably so many people that cross your mind that helped get you to this point. So I want to make sure that we honor them. So I'm going to call their names. As I call these names, please stand in the audience. And then after I call all of the named students, I would like for you to give a huge round of applause because, like I said, we all have many, many stories on how we got to where we are today. And the people that I'm going to call, I know, helped and supported you. So I'm going to go ahead and say those people first. And again, as I call you, please stand in the audience. Parents, please stand. Grandparents. Siblings. Extended family. Step families. Teachers. Counselors. Secretaries, aides, custodians, school nurse, cafeteria workers, maintenance workers, school psychologists, school resource officer, librarian, coaches, bus drivers, and neighbors. Now, honestly, students, look around, look around. These are amazing people that have helped support you and get you to the place. So let's give everyone a round of applause. Thank you. You may be seated. Next, I want to honor two groups of individuals that made today possible. As you notice, there are many wonderful details today, down to the wonderful balloons, our gowns, everything when you look around just makes today that much more special, and I want to give the thank you to those people. First, our graduation committee was led by Mrs. Lori Lyman, Katie Erb, and Katie Schmidt. I would like for those individuals to stand and give them a wonderful round of applause for all of their hard work. Next, I would like for all the staff members who are participating today in the graduation ceremony to stand. I would like to thank them as well for their dedication to today and just being a great role model and helping us out in the ceremony today. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you. The next group is a very, very special group that I'd like to honor, especially at this time of the year. If you are a veteran or an active military member, please stand and let's please give a huge round of applause for all of their dedication. All right, next I'm going to go through some of the student awards and recognitions. The first group that I would like to honor are our junior marshals. A junior marshal is an honor bestowed on the top academic students in the junior class. These students help to serve our community at various events like graduation, and we do appreciate their time and dedication. When I call your name, please stand. Emily Abrams, Jeremiah Beeler, Jarrett Crothers, Jacob Clear, Megan Maloney, Samuel Muse, Alyssa Smith, Benjamin Souders, and David Winter. Thank you. The next group that I would like to honor are our senior class officers. These students are voted on by their peers, just as those just well-behaved, well-rounded students that are role models in our building. I'm going to say their names, and at that time, please stand, ladies. Samantha Clemens, President. Sarah Policini, Vice President. Allison Williams, Secretary. And Lindsay Norquist, Treasurer. Thank you, ladies. The next group I'm going to honor are a very, very unique group of students. There are 3 this year out of your graduating class. Since the very beginning of their senior year, these students, and as we all know, senioritis likes to get us sometimes, they came in for every 174 days. They did not miss one day of their senior year. They had perfect attendance. Please hold the applause till the end. When I call your name, please stand. Ross Hamey, Dak Manjarez, and Ryan Speck. Congratulations. I'm going to go ahead and recognize some more student groups. They are wearing cords to represent a particular group or club. The first group of students are wearing red cords for donating blood during their senior year. At Edgewood High School since 2007, we have actually held 18 blood drives. We've collected 2,129 units of blood, which means that's 266 gallons, which is amazing. So at this time, students, if you are wearing a red cord, please stand. Thank you. The next group are our student council members. They are wearing silver cords. Their cord represents leadership and service. The student council helps share many student ideas, interests, and concerns with teacher and school principals. They often help raise funds for school-wide activities, including social events, community, and helping people in need. They are the students that organize homecoming and prom as well, which is a huge undertaking. If you are wearing a silver cord, please stand. Our next group are students of the National Technical Honor Society. This is an honor society for our outstanding career and technical students of the workforce, vocational education institutions in the United States. The mission is to honor student achievement and leadership in career and tech education. They promote educational excellence, award scholarships, and enhance career opportunities through their membership. Our students are members through Butler Technology Schools. So at this time, all National Technical Honor Society members, please stand. The gold cord represents students who were selected to be a part of the National Honor Society. National Honor Society is the nation's premier organization established to recognize outstanding high school students. It's more than just honor roll. They recognize those students who have demonstrated excellence in the areas of scholarship, service, leadership, and character. In order to qualify, a student must have a minimum 3.5 GPA, unweighted, leadership qualities, good character, and community service background. If you are wearing a gold cord, please stand. Students who are wearing a blue and white cord have earned both the Edgewood High School diploma and the State of Ohio diploma. The Edgewood High School Honors Diploma are for students receiving a GPA of 3.667 or higher. The State of Ohio Honors Diploma are for students who have they've met their graduation requirements. They have also received 4 units in math, science, and social studies. They've received 3 units in a world language. They also have 1 unit of fine art while maintaining a 3.5 GPA. They also have an ACT score of 27 or higher or an SAT score of 1280 or higher. So if you are wearing a blue and white cord, please stand. White cords represent students who earned the Edgewood High School Honors Diploma, which again, students receiving that have a GPA of 3.667 or higher. If you are wearing a white cord, please stand. Next, students wearing a white and red cord are students who are members of FCCLA, which is Family Career Community Leaders of America. This is a career technical student organization that addresses important personal, work, or society issues. At this time, those students wearing a red and white cord, please stand. The next group of students I would like to recognize are those students who have chosen to serve in the military. They will be representing the United States of America. They will serve in the Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, and one has been appointed even to the United States Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs, Colorado. They are wearing a blue and gold cord. Please stand. Finally, we would like to recognize graduates who have earned over $1,000 in scholarships. Some have been awarded a reward that's used for technical schools, colleges, or universities. They have been awarded an amount to attend a post-secondary associate's program. For your class, for the class of 2017, you all have earned a grand total of $1.2 million in scholarships. That is amazing. So, if you have earned $1,000 or more in scholarships, please stand. All right, we're moving along to the principal awards. These go out to two students when I think of students who truly do just go above and beyond. I know we're faced with so much, but you know, there's so many things that some students they do. They just go above and beyond, and they really truly make a wonderful impact in our district. The first award goes to a student who has a 5.2 GPA, has participated in golf, the academic team, student council, National Honor Society, Fellowship of Christian Athletes. They also have donated their time through service through the YMCA and the Greater Miami River Cleanup, while maintaining a job for 3 years. Also, this student has won many athletic awards and recently received a generous scholarship for the college that they are attending in the fall. My first principal awards goes to Dennis Weaver. Okay, the next principal award goes to a student who has a 4.92 GPA, has participated in ladies golf and men's golf, girls state, girls nation, National Honor Society, Choraleers, tech crew, FCCLA officer, academic team. Many awards include winning the SWAC First Team All Conference, 2017 Math Achievement Award, Gold FCCLA State Qualifier, Gold FCCLA National Qualifier, and Daughters of American Revolution Good Citizen, excuse me. This student has donated their time by being a math tutor, attending Baybeck Elementary to help out students as a volunteer, and interning for Mr. Rob Portman, U.S. Senate campaign. Her favorite memory was winning the SWAC title for ladies golf for the first time in school history. My next principal award goes to, and they are not related, Abigail Weaver. Let's give both Dennis Weaver and Abigail Weaver one more hand. Thank you. All right, our next set of awards I'm going to announce. Our first award is our Valedictorian. This is awarded to a student with the highest GPA in the entire class of 2017. He has participated in football, track and field, tennis, and student council. He has been awarded the AP Scholar Award, Academic All-Conference Award, and the Edge Scholar Athletic Science Achievement Award. He donates his time through Meals on Wheels, mulch delivery, athletic camp volunteering as well. His favorite memory at EHS was the AP Biology trip to Chicago. Your valedictorian is Dakota Schramm. I know, I kind of walked away too early, sorry. Okay, our next award is our Salutatorian. This is awarded to the student with the second highest GPA in the class of 2017. He has been involved in cross-country, track and field, academic team, National Honor Society, where he served as the treasurer, swim team, and tennis. He has been awarded Coach's Award for all 4 years of high school, the SWAC Sportsmanship Award, and Varsity Athletic Awards. He donates his time through being a tutor for children at Edgewood Elementary. Lastly, his favorite memory as well was also attending the AP Biology trip in Chicago. Your salutatorian is Ryan Specht. All right, we're about to hear from our student speaker. I would like to introduce Samantha Clemens, your senior class president. She was elected to be your class president for the class of 2017. She carries a 3.8 GPA and has been involved in National Honor Society, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, cheerleading, office aide, and student athletic trainer. She has received the SWAC All-Academic Team Award, OPSI Scholarship, Coaches Award, and United Methodist Scholarship Award. She donates her time through the Greater Miami River Cleanup, 7 Mile Elementary Student Volunteer, Vacation Bible School Volunteer, and Track Manager. Her favorite memory at Edgewood High School was her first year as a freshman with her friend Sarah Policini. As they were traveling up the stairs, and Sam lost her sandal and went all the way down the stairs, where she was very embarrassed. But that's okay because Sarah was there to help. Please welcome your class president, Sam Clemens.
Class of 2017, today is the day. It seems like we have waited centuries among centuries for this day, but even though we don't like to admit it, the past 4 years have flown by. We went from awkward 15-year-old freshmen, let's just leave it at awkward 15-year-old freshmen, we don't need to discuss that anymore. Then came sophomore year, the year that we finally had our driver's license and acted like we had our life completely figured out. Then junior year that made us wake up and realize, hello, the real world is about to hit you in less than a year. And now we sit here. We put on our white dresses, we tie our bow ties, zipped up our gowns, and topped it off with our caps. We learned that high school was nothing like Zoe 101, nothing like Ned's Declassified, or believe it or not even like the High School Musical. Our days of getting permission to use the bathroom, refreshing the webpage every minute, waiting to see if school was closed for a snow day, and side note, I don't know about you graduates, but I'm still very bitter we didn't have a snow day this year. But anyway, even our last-minute test crams have all came to an end. I want to challenge the beautiful graduates in front of me with 3 W's as we close this chapter in our book. Remember who you are, what you represent, and where you are from. Who you are, a question that not just us graduates have, but many of us in this room ask ourselves weekly or even daily. We are not the same as we were 4 years ago as freshmen. Our struggles, fights, and challenges that have led us to heartache, failure, and tears have helped shape each and every one of us, and I want you to remember that. As we set out to this new part of our lives that will bring changes and responsibilities, I want each and every one of you to hear me. You are all strong, and yes, 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 you can make it through the challenges the next 4 years have to offer. But most importantly, do not let anyone look you in the eyes and tell you who you have to be or who you are. You know who you truly are. Let's not sugarcoat it. We have had many days where this question beats us up and tore us down, making us fight with our brain about answering this. But leave that fight behind. Make others know and remember you for a good reason, but also allow yourself to grow. I know change is not an easy thing, and believe me, I don't like it either. But the point I'm leaving you with about who you are is to not flee from change, but be open to that scary yet exciting word and trust in yourself. Next is what you represent. Fill in the blank of what the answer to that question may be, but don't think it won't change. And yes, that word came up again. Yes, as time goes on, what you represent will also change. You may represent that talented athlete who played the field or court for years. You may represent the intelligent student who strived for honor roll or straight A's every quarter. You may represent that musician who put in countless hours making sure every tune was right. But look around. The colors navy, blue, and white that are in this room, you, my fellow graduates, will always represent those colors, the colors of Edgewood High School. Now, whether you like that or not, you represent Edgewood. Our teachers, administrators, and even those that are at the school at hours you can't even imagine putting in effort, time, and passion represents what you have become. With that being said, the last of the 3 W's is never forget where you are from. I know Trenton, the city of cornfields, very few stoplights, and enough pizza places to count on both hands. The city you all die to get out of, but whether or not you like to admit it, Trenton has a special place in your hearts. We've honestly been through a lot. In elementary school, we shared the love at our Valentine's Day parties, and then we brought out the claws when it came down to who would be the champ of the field day tug-of-war. We were with each other through those terrible middle school days of what in the world were we wearing, and did our mothers really let us walk out of the house with our hair cut like that? I don't know about you, but that's all I seem to think about when someone mentions middle school. I'm kidding. We took a trip to Washington, D.C. that still comes up in our conversations today, because talk about some memories. Whether we were on the bus for 5 minutes or 25 minutes, we all seemed to fit in a nap. And who can forget you poor bus 4 survivors that lasted the whole trip without AC? My heart still hurts a little for you guys. Then came high school, the good days, the first homecoming, the first prom. Friday night football games were always something to experience, whether you were on the field, in the den, or dropping the beats of songs in the end zones. I think 10 years from now, we will hear those band songs and automatically throw up a 1, 2, 3, 4 and start moving side to side, rolling our arms in a circle. You all know the song I'm talking about that our marching Cougars played. Some of you, it's killing you inside to not do it right now, and those dancing in your seats, I see you. Let us not forget those SWAC titles we also brought home while in high school, or dancing our way to a grand championship. Hold on to those memories and all the others, wherever life may take you, because that's where you came from. That's Trenton, Ohio. That's Edgewood. I did a little bit of research, and I wanted to share that with you all. I found out that the word for 2017 is create, and of course, believe everything on the internet, right? Even though our days as Edgewood High School students are behind us, even though we've taken our last first day of school pictures, even though we've taken our last math test, had our last bell exchange, pulled our last all-nighters with our friends, attended our last school dance and closed our lockers, heard the fight song and taken the field or court for the last time, now is the time to create something new. Create something that's absolutely beautiful. Create your own masterpiece. Take this next chapter of your life and create a story that you have always dreamed about. Create a life that you will love. As I wrap up, I want to leave you with these last things. Remember who you are, what you represent, and where you are from. Remember those who have helped you get to this point today. Remember our class quote of what feels like the end is often the beginning. Finally, most importantly, remember even though we may be alumni now, always bleed navy blue and white, and never stop cheering on the Edgewood Cougars. You know the saying, graduates, hashtag go Cougs.
Thank you, Samantha. At this time, we will hear from our next student speaker, our salutatorian, Ryan Speck.
As I thought about what to talk about today, I thought about why I'm here, why I'm the one who's charged with offering up some piece of advice to the entire graduating class. And I kept thinking and thinking, and I couldn't come up with an answer. I know the closer that we've drawn to this day, people keep talking about how hard we've worked. And I'm sure Dakota over there can attest to how hard work pays off, but I know I can. I'm the guy who never read for APUSH, who didn't study for tests, and who looked over the material for those Ben Johnson reading quizzes the period before. Throughout high school, I've left myself constantly unprepared. But the catch is, everyone else was equally unprepared. And it's not because they didn't try, it's not because they weren't smart, but it's because we can't really prepare ourselves for anything. Never in life are we ever actually truly prepared. I mean, I've had a week to prepare for this speech, yet I'm still not ready for this moment. Our whole lives, we've been preparing for the future. In preschool, we were preparing for kindergarten, and in kindergarten, we were preparing for elementary school, which was preparing us for middle school, which prepared us for high school. And even high school is only preparing us for our adult lives. So if this preparation isn't entirely possible, then why have we been so obsessed with preparing ourselves for the future? And I think it's because we're scared. We're scared that the future holds something that we don't like. So we spend all this time to try to prepare ourselves for the future in an attempt to avoid the inevitable. However, while we're spending all this time in fear of the future, trying to stave off that inevitable, we miss out on the beautiful things in life. Life is unpredictable. It takes these unexpected twists and turns. Yet these twists and turns, the unpredictability of life, is what makes it great. We shouldn't fear the future. We shouldn't fear those twists and turns. We should embrace them. We should embrace the fact that we don't know what's coming, that we don't know our future. No matter how much we plan for it, we need to stop stressing out about the future and what it holds, and enjoy the future. Enjoy the present, and embrace the future as it comes. For the past year or so, I've been constantly saying, I just want to graduate. And now that I'm here, I look back and I see all the things that I missed out upon because I was trying to grab at the future and jerk it forward. But we can't do that. We can't reach out to the future and try to order around and tell it what and when it will be. We have to let it come to us in whatever form it desires. If we do that, we might just enjoy every little moment of life that we get. Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan. At this time, graduates who are members of the band, go ahead and head back. We're going to be hearing a piece from the band. Before they do that, I want to go over just a couple highlights of the band this year. It's been a very, very successful year for the band under the direction of Mr. John Arnold. Participation in the band program has been steadily growing, and membership of the marching band has tripled since Mr. John Arnold has taken over the program in 2005. Other notable highlights of the year was the marching band receiving a superior rating in the OMEA competition and qualifying for state for the second year in a row. The percussion program went undefeated all season. They've had several students awarded college music scholarships from CCM, Miami University, and Bowling Green State University. Trumpeter Jack Phillips made school history when he won the first chair in the OMEA All-State Jazz Band. They've had other students participate in the District 13 Honor Band and solo and ensemble contests, receiving superior and excellent ratings. Let's give the band a round of applause for all of their success. Thank you. That was wonderful. At this time, I'm going to introduce to you our next student speaker, Valedictorian William Schramm.
Good afternoon, everyone, and congratulations, class of 2017. We finally made it. Today, we gather here at Millett Hall to celebrate. It's a day for rejoicing and appreciating all the hard work we have put in our high school years. As I began to think about the graduation process as a whole, it has amazed me to ponder all the different groups and classes we have been a part of in our time at high school. From athletics and academic team, to FCA, FCCLA, and student council, there's been a plethora of extracurriculars available to us. We've had classes in mathematics, science, history, language, music, art, and everything in between. We've had different friends, teachers, coaches, hobbies, and dreams. Despite these differences, we all have one mutual desire, and that desire is to be successful in life. If success is sought after by so many different people, how exactly is it achievable by every single person on the planet? In a world stricken with poverty, war, and disease, how is it even remotely possible that everyone could be successful? First, we must define success. Success often reflects our largest concerns with life, and thus has changed with society as it has transitioned into post-industrial ideals. In the past, success has been defined by wealth, respect, and fame. But today, that has changed. Today, we define success as happiness. The next question then is, how do you become a successful person? And the truth is that success isn't linear. It does not always happen immediately in life, and it means different things to different people. Success doesn't heed the boundaries given by wealth, race, intelligence, power, or other boundaries set forth by society. And there exist many examples in which success circumvents circumstances forged by these boundaries. One such man dropped out of Harvard, failed his first business, Trafodata, and eventually succeeded, creating one of the most successful companies in present day. Another gave up on having a medical career and was often chastised by his father for being lazy and too dreamy. After giving up on medical school, his father told him, "You care for nothing but shooting dogs and catching rats, and you will be nothing but a disgrace to yourself and all of your family." All his masters considered him to be below the common standard of intellect. Another man had to overcome dyslexia, poverty, and work as a teenager to get through his high school years. His first step toward his dream started when he was 15, and he failed miserably in his first stand-up comedy act. He spent much time on Mulholland Drive reassuring himself by saying such things such as, "Everyone wants to work with me. I'm a really good actor. I have all kinds of great movie offers." And he finally came into great success after his second movie appearance. These men are no strangers to us. They are Bill Gates, Charles Darwin, and Jim Carrey. Each was completely devoted to achieving their own happiness and did not let the people around them deter them from their dreams. There was something in common in each one of them, and this drove them to their happiness. These traits are observable in all successful people. These traits that all successful people have in common are that they are hardworking, they don't quit, and they are constantly trying to improve themselves. Hard work is one characteristic of success. It means that you can achieve anything if you put enough hard work into it. It beats out talent and natural intelligence when those fail to work. Bill Gates dropped out of one of the most prestigious colleges in the world because he had a plan for what he wanted to do and wanted to completely devote his free time to starting that company. Charles Darwin took a 5-year voyage in order to create the scientific journal that fueled his theory of evolution with evidence. Jim Carrey mailed his first resume to the Carol Burnett show at age 10, began stand-up comedy at age 15, and wrote himself a $10 million check to remind himself of his dreams of being a big-time actor. Hard work is largely the reason I am standing in front of you today. I've sacrificed sleep, free time, and an active social life to accomplish this feat. Being reluctant to quit is another characteristic of success. It means that you decide your performance without letting the outside world change your intentions. Bill Gates wouldn't have reached his success if he had listened to society and stayed in college. Charles Darwin wouldn't have reached his success if he had listened to his father and actually believed that he was worthless. Jim Carrey wouldn't have reached his success if he had gone for the safer, more realistic job. And I myself wouldn't be attending Columbia University if I had listened to those who told me that an Ivy League wasn't realistic for someone from our school. The final characteristic of success, self-improvement, means you are open to constructive criticism, are always listening and observing, and you have a genuine desire to improve yourself in order to achieve your goal. Bill Gates and his friend Alma worked together, and their previous failure helped steer them in the right path to improve their project and eventually create Microsoft. Charles Darwin used the theories of many other scientists in his time to help support his hypothesis of evolution. Jim Carrey had to be observant of his environment in order to improve his comedy and make it relatable to certain topics or events in the world. These three traits will ease the path much more directly towards one's goals and have the potential to create the path if it isn't there. The message to be taken from this is that success is not a clear-cut path. Each and every one of us have different interests, different sources of happiness, and different end goals in life. I want to stress the importance of this to everyone here today. Do not let anyone deter you from your dreams, because we are all capable of making them a reality. Pursue your passions, and you'll never work a day in your life. Do what makes you happy. As long as you're happy, there is no amount of power, wealth, or fame that can take this truth away from you. The truth is that you are successful. Thank you.
Thank you, William. At this time, we're going to be hearing from our choral department, if any of those students would like to report to that area. Again, I would like to give some highlights of this department. The Edgewood Choraleers competed across the state of Ohio during January through March and racked up awards at every competition they attended. Their yard sale theme show earned Best Show Concept, Best Choreography, Best Vocals, and Best Band. They also earned a grand championship title at the Fairfield Crystal Classic. The group is made up of audition sophomore, juniors, and seniors who represent various activities, including athletics and academics at Edgewood High School. Let's give them a round of applause for all of their accomplishments.
Though the darkness of art. Oh, see, I see a shining star. You're the light through my window from afar. Oh, don't you forget, the only thing that matters is your heartbeat going strong. Oh, don't you forget that nothing else can matter, 'cause you know where I belong. Oh, take me there, won't you take me there, won't you take me home? Oh, take me there, won't you take me there, won't you take me home? We light up the sky. Heaven knows there's no such thing as goodbye. Oh, 'cause love can never die. We'll forever be burning, you and I. Oh, don't you forget, the only thing that matters is your heartbeat going strong. Oh, don't you forget that nothing else can matter, 'cause you know where I belong. Oh, take me there, won't you take me there, won't you take me home? Oh, take me there, won't you take me there, won't you take me home? Take me there, won't you take me there, won't you take me home? Oh, take me there, won't you take me there, won't you take me home?
Let's give both of our music departments one more round of applause. Great job. Very excited to hear our guest speaker for today. I'm going to go over his biography. Eric Rodger is a prolific television, film, and comic book writer who's produced credits including the Emmy-winning Futurama and NYPD Blue, as well as Stretch Armstrong, Wonder Over Yonder, Teen Titans Go, and Littlest Pet Shop. Eric is currently the executive producer, head writer, and showrunner for Netflix hit animated series Skylanders Academy, based on the Activision Blizzard's best-selling Skylanders video game series. He's previously worked as story editor, head writer on the Hasbro Studios animated series Blazing Team, airing on the Discovery Family Channel. In addition to his produced television work, Eric has also written for Matt Groening's Bongo Comics Group, have scripted over 40 published stories for the Simpsons comics, Futurama comics, and Bart Simpson's comics. Eric was also a 2011 Writers Guild of America Award nominee for his Futurama script, The Silence of the Clams. Eric was born and raised in Middletown, Ohio, and graduated from Edgewood High School in 1991. After high school, he attended and graduated from Miami University in 1995. He then moved to Los Angeles, California in 1995 and currently resides there with his wife, Katie, and son, Holden. Please welcome Eric Rodgers to the stage.
Hi, graduates. How are you doing? I'd like to start off by saying how angry I am at Sam, Ryan, and William for taking the best parts of my speech. It's really great, guys. Don't even know why I'm talking now. I'm kidding. Kidding. You guys did a fantastic job. Thank you guys so much for having me here today. In particular, the school board, the faculty, the board, everyone at Edgewood, the entire community. I appreciate it. A special shout out to my friend from the class of 91, Andrea, or as most of you students probably refer to her, Mrs. Hobson, for submitting me to the powers that be at Edgewood as someone who is worthy of this honor. I'm humbled to be speaking to you all, and I'm sure I'll screw it up in some way before we get to the part you really came here for, getting your hands on your diplomas. Now, speaking of diplomas, I never imagined where I was sitting when I was sitting where all of you are 26 years ago. I really wish that was a typo. That I'd ever get the chance to come back to Edgewood for an occasion such as this. I guess I've done a few interesting things in my time since leaving Trenton. But honestly, I just view myself as someone whose job is writing cartoons every day. I wake up every morning thanking my lucky stars that I have the career that I set out to pursue after graduating from Edgewood, but also Miami University. And I never take that for granted. As you heard in my bio, I work for a pretty fun and sort of popular TV show called Futurama, which was my first full-time writing job. I thought after I got a gig working every day with Matt Groening and some of the brilliant writers from The Simpsons that I'd never have to hustle for a job ever again. And I could not have been more wrong about that. When Futurama ended, I did the worst thing I could have done for my career, and I sat back and I waited for the jobs to roll in. And wow, they did not. I basically had the worst dry spell of my working life after that and learned my lesson in the hardest way imaginable. That you can't rely on the universe to reward you for your hard work if you stop working hard. I had to go back to square one and remember what it was that got me my first writing jobs to begin with. Busting my butt, staying humble, and appreciating every good thing you have in your life, no matter how big or small. Now, those philosophies were taught to me by my amazing mother, who's here today, and they were forged for life by my schooling at Edgewood. Growing up in this area, learning from these teachers, and being modeled by the people in this community are the reasons I have the career and the life that I do now. You don't get the chance often to publicly thank someone for what they've done for you very often in life. So I'd like to take the opportunity right now to say thanks to the entire Edgewood community as well as my family for shaping me into the person I am today. Whenever you see my name on your TVs, if you happen to see my name on your TVs, that's all part of you guys with me on the screen. It's not me, just me writing those stories. It's this corner of southwestern Ohio. Now, I'd also like to thank the teacher who actually put me on the path to being a writer way back in 1989. He's actually one of our guests today. His name is Tom Romano. That's Tom Romano right over here to your left. Now, yes, please do. Now, Dr. Romano, or as I called him back then, Mr. Romano, because he wasn't that fancy yet, is a very accomplished author and educator. He now teaches here at Miami. But in 1989, he was an English teacher at EHS. Specifically, he taught the creative writing class that I was part of the fall of my sophomore year. So one day early in that semester, Mr. Romano gave our writing class a pretty simple assignment. He asked everyone to write a short fiction story, 6 to 8 pages, double spaced, nothing big. I got a little excited by that, and I went home and I started writing until the entire story that was banging around inside my head was on the page. That was about 50 handwritten pages later. And it was a pretty bad story, too. It was a total die-hard ripoff about some average dude fighting a corrupt James Bond-esque cartel of villains. Despite the asinine length, I turned that story in anyway. A couple of days later, we got our grades. Mr. Romano didn't hand my story back when he handed back everyone else's. Instead, he just told me under his breath as he passed my desk, "Come see me after class." Oh, wow, I really bombed that, I thought. I sat there the rest of the class, hating my life. And after class was over, I went to see Mr. Romano, Dr. Romano, at his desk. He had the story in his hand, and he regarded me with this face that was a mix of shock and awe. And he kicked off the conversation with, "What the hell is this, Rogers?" Holding up my manuscript, that's how thick it was. I didn't know. I didn't have an answer for him. I just told him that I wrote the story that I had to write. So then he broke out into this big giant smile and he shook his head and told me that I completely screwed up the assignment, but that he was giving me an A anyway because he had never seen a student turn in something like that. After he handed the story back to me, he then said the words that planted the seeds of ambition inside of me. You keep doing this, Rogers. You've got talent. I want to see where this goes. Well, Dr. Amano, this went all the way to LA and into a career in writing television. I appreciate so much that you saw something in me that day that I hadn't at that point. My appearance here today is a tribute to you and your stellar work as a molder of young minds. So thank you again. Now, back to the real rock stars of this show, the graduates. You are the VIPs here, really, and you've got a lifetime of adventures waiting for you from this moment forward. There are things that are going to happen to you, places you will go, and things that you will see that you can't begin to predict in your wildest dreams right now. And that's the most exciting part of your future, isn't it? It's not the stuff you're planning today or tomorrow, next week or next year. Whether that's work, college, or the military, it's the stuff that's going to happen while you're focused on all those things that you think you can control. Are under your control, I should say rather. When John Lennon said, "This is what happens to you, life is what happens to you while you're busy making other plans," he wasn't kidding. So my advice to you is to be open to those adventures that you weren't planning on taking when they are presented to you. Have the courage to have the courage to say yes to something that you weren't planning for. Whether that's pursuing a job that requires you to move thousands of miles away, saying hello to the pretty girl or guy who smiles in your direction when she passes you by on the street, or leaving a screenplay on the hood of Tom Hanks's pickup truck. Yep, I did that. And because I did, I got to meet Tom Hanks when I was a snot-nosed 22-year-old fresh out of college who had just moved to LA and had no idea how Hollywood worked. As in, you don't leave scripts on people's cars. Mr. Hanks politely explained that to me. He shook my hand and he wished me well in my career. Now that said, if I hadn't left the script on his car, I never would have got to meet him, so it's still a win. So being courageous like that in your actions is just one part of what are referred to commonly as the B's of success. I didn't invent these ideals, but there are a few simple ideals that I employ that have done wonders in my life at certain moments. And I'd like to share a few of those with you now. Obviously, you can take or leave whether they've worked for you in your life, but I have a sneaking suspicion that if you apply one or more in your pursuits, pursuit of making your own dreams come true, you will find success too. Now, the first ideal is to be bold. That falls in line with the whole have courage thing. And believe it or not, there's no dream too big for any person in this room. If you want to be the President of the United States, we've learned you can be the President of the United States. If you want to be the first person on Mars, who here can stop you? Now, obviously, those are massive aspirations, but the point of being bold in your pursuit of a goal is that you will find rewards and success you didn't plan for along the way. Now, I didn't move to Los Angeles to become an animation writer. I went there to write movies. I thought I was going to be the next Quentin Tarantino, like all wannabe screenwriters in the 90s. But as I pursued that path, I found jobs in television to pay my rent. And those jobs led me to discovering a passion for television, writing television, I should say. And that passion for writing television manifested itself into writing animation, which turned out to be my true calling. I could not be happier doing what I do now, and if I hadn't set out at 22 to become Tarantino and make the move to LA all by myself, actually with one guy, but just the two of us, I never would have found my path. Now, the next ideal that I like to present to you is something I stole right out of my 4-year-old's Charlie Brown book, but it works. Believe in yourself. The only person that can stop you is you from getting what you truly want. It's your life and no one else's. Don't waste 1 second doing the things that don't waste 1 second not doing the things. Don't waste 1 second not doing the things that make you happy and give you fulfillment just because someone else has told you that the thing you desire is impossible, that you're not good enough. You are. Once you realize there's no such thing as impossible, sky's the limit for you. And then once you know what you want to achieve in life, be persistent. Don't get discouraged if you don't find success right away. It's a slippery slope to put a timer on your life and say, if I'm not doing this by this time, then I'll be a failure. So what if it takes a little longer than you thought it would to achieve your goals? The stuff you learn along the way is going to make you a better employee, friend, partner, and all-around human being. It took me writing nonstop for 17 years before I found my niche as an animation showrunner. And I know waiting 17 years sounds like a lifetime, because it kind of is for most of you. But don't worry. The older you get, the faster time goes. So if it takes a while, I promise you'll get there. But also what I realized about achieving success later is that the things I learned along the way prepared me for success when I finally achieved it. When it came time to finally run my own TV show, I was able to do so effectively and efficiently because I had ample time to see how others did it, what worked for them and what didn't work for them. And now I could put my own spin on the job to show my own work. I'd be lying to you if I said it didn't take all of those years writing and learning from my former bosses and peers to prepare me for the job I do today. The key to even making it to that moment was never quitting, though, never giving up, and never losing faith in my ability. So once you achieve these goals, be humble. Remember that there are a lot of people who wish they could trade places with you. Take pride in your accomplishments, but don't drink your own Kool-Aid. And always pay it forward. My wife asked me once why I take the time on social media to answer questions about my career, writing, and animation to complete strangers there. And my answer was simple. Someone took the time to talk to me once, and it changed everything for me. That person was a family friend who I met at a dinner party back in 1991, my senior year at Edgewood, who was a TV writer herself. She told me about what her job was, what her days were like, and what her career had become. I was blown away that someone could actually make money writing TV stories. It had never occurred to me before that moment that it was a real job. That writer's name was Ann Donahue, and she took her generosity of time and spirit one step further by telling me if, after I finished college, I was still interested in pursuing a career in entertainment, that I should look her up in LA. If she could help me out, she would. I remember that conversation exactly 4 years later when I was about to graduate Miami. I moved to LA and I called her up when I got there, and 2 weeks later I had my first job in the industry. She paid it forward, and it set my career in motion. And now it's my responsibility to do the same to anyone else who wants to follow in my footsteps the way I followed in Ann's. When you reach your goals in life, no matter how big or small they are, it's your responsibility as well to help pave the path for those who hope to follow in your footsteps one day. Dr. Romano did that for me. Finally, I want you to do this one last thing for me, and it has really nothing to do with success, but I think it's a worthy endeavor anyway. Be nice to each other as you continue your journey through this life. Now, I know that sounds strange or maybe even corny, but we live in a very volatile time. There's a whole lot of I'm right and you're wrong, and if you don't see things my way, you must be my enemy. And that's not the case at all. No matter how different we are or what we believe in, we all have to share this planet together. It's okay if we don't see eye to eye on everything. But more and more, our differences seem to be dividing us and pitting us against each other. At the end of the day, we're all just human beings. We all just have one life that we're given, and no one is promised tomorrow. So try to put your energy into making the world a better place by simply being nicer to each other. I truly believe you get out of this life what you put into it. And if we all start practicing a little more kindness towards each other, our differences will stop dividing us. You are our future. Lead by example. Now, it's time for you to start your journey into adulthood, graduates. I'm thrilled for you. I'm proud of you, and I can't wait to see what you all do next. It has been a true honor to stand here today before you and impart a few words of wisdom. I hope that my stories and my experiences have proven today, if nothing else, that any dream is achievable. If you work hard enough and if you want it badly enough, and if you always remember where you came from. Because this tiny corner of Ohio is a strong foundation that you can build the rest of your life from. Oh, and if any of you happen to find your way to Los Angeles and decide to pursue the path that I've taken, be sure to look me up, and I'll help you in any way I can. Thank you all. Go Cougars.
Thank you, Mr. Rogers. Again, that was great. At this time, we're going to hear from our Corlier Senior Choir, our Edgewood Alma Mater. At this time, if everyone will stand, please. Thank you.
Edgewood High, we honor thee, halls of youthful dignity, spirit of all you stand for, will live in our memory. Loyal, always, ever true, praise to thee, dear white and blue. Glory to your strength and honor, faith that will not fail. Pride in thee, our alma mater, Edgewood High, all hail.
Thank you. Y'all may be seated. All right. The moment we have all been waiting for. Yay! I'm going to go ahead and ask the Edgewood teachers who will be reading to go ahead and report to the stage. I'm also going to invite Mrs. Amy Ashcraft, our board president, to the stage. And just a reminder, please, guests, that I know that every person here wants to hear all the names being read, so just be aware of that. When we are cheering and clapping and those things, I know that we want to make sure to hear every student's name very clearly. So go ahead, the first row can go ahead and get started.
William Dakota Schramm. Ryan Scott Speck. Dennis Jacob Weaver. Seth Allen. Cole Anderson Baker. Stephen Marino Barger. Dylan James Crouch. Ethan Allen. Jacob Wesley Howard. Elijah Keith Lowry. Samantha Michelle Clemens. Lindsay Christine Norquist. Sarah Maria Policini. Allison Diane Williams. And Alicia Joel Burleps. Catherine Elizabeth Curry. Michaela Marie Finkbein. Katrina Cassandra Fulmer. Morgan Marie Gavrin. Lauren Mackenzie Gerber. Haley Elizabeth Jackson. Abigail Jeanette Newman. Raquel Morgan Riando. Marilee Abigail Zimmerman. Elena Rose Theobald. Abigail Ruthanna Weaver. Cammie Leanne Wiles. Courtney Alexandra Williams. Elizabeth Marie Wolf. Jacob Allen Mofield. Cole Thomas McLemare. Keep going. Jacob L. Bishop. Whoa. Oh, sorry. Philip Wade Applegate. Sorry, Philip. Bryce Ronald Couch. David Lee Aikman. Yep. Jeremiah Airwood.
Bob John Ashton. Seth T. Arvin. Kyle Matthew Helsinger.
Back up. We're going to wait.
Maverick Blake Bachelor. Noah Braden Back. Justin Dylan Anthony Baker. Robert H. Baker III. Dylan Thomas Banks. Cameron Wade Barker. Logan Pete Bartram. Acacia Leanne Baker Mullins. Rachel Elizabeth Baker. Mackenzie Lynn Barker. Olivia Gracie Pearl Boland. Jessa Elise Brown. Kayla Nicole Curtis. Chloe Elise Butler. Kelsey Carey Hopkins. Paige Amber Neubauer. Allison Christina Sneed. Jessica Ann Church. Hannah Denise Clemens. Chastity Marie Coldiron. Savannah Ray Coolidge. Morgan Leanna Couch. Diamond Mackenzie Carter. Braden Troy Cumpston. Landon Joseph Day. Jonathan Hunter Boggs. Kyle Michael Brown.
Joshua L. Campbell. Marshall William Carrero. Ryan Wayne Chalk. Ethan Corey Chapello. Bailey Dwayne Chasteen. Benjamin Aaron Cheeseman. Lewis Edward Cody. Dylan Michael Caldwell. Brandon James Cooper. Austin Alexander Consagra. Brandon Hunter Couch. Caitlin Lee Likens. Ashley Marie Davis. Miranda Angel Davis. Maggie Lee Dyer. Beth Ann Ewan. Reagan Jaria Fry. Taylor Ray Michelle Gage. Aaliyah Gary. Madison Geisen. Katie Miranda Elizabeth Gibbs. Taylor Delaney Hahn. Caitlin Michelle Goad. Samantha Nicole Goodlett. Sydney Cheyenne Green. Carly Danielle Griesman. Logan Marie Haas. Brianna Renee Habash. Logan Adrian Flynn. Colin Joseph Daniels. Bridie Allen Depew. Gregory Michael Dingledine.
Austin Michael Dirksen. Alan Michael Edward Donovan. Colton James Anderson Downard. Eddie Lee Driscoll. Evan Michael Frizzell. Hunter Nathaniel Champion Estes. Corey James Estridge. Austin Tyler Fagley. Couldn't read it. Alex John Fain. Logan William Fisher. Noah Charles Fisher. Matthew David Fitzwater. Samantha Marie Lucarelli. Hannah Danielle Hall. Harley Renee Page Hamilton. Savannah Joe Haney. Sarah Hannah Joe Hazelwood. Emily Taylor Hyatt. Lucas Madison Brooke Hillman. Lauren Ashley Hoffer. Courtney Marie Elizabeth Howard. Diana Kathleen Hurst. Ashton Taylor Ray Johnson. Michaela Lynn Kelly. Mackenzie Jane Cade. Casey Marie Leichman. Abigail Alexis Lockard. Magdalene Nicole Lovins. Rebecca Morgan Paps. Brandon Christopher Latham. Donald Austin Kramer. Bradley Austin Kincaid.
Tyler Joseph Gibson. Zachary Sean Gilbert. Kyle Douglas Geis. Trevor Reed Gillum. No. Derek Nathaniel Fryman. Devin Dale Garrett. Elijah John Goff. Brendan Creed Goodlett. Bryson James Goodpaster. Thaddeus Allen Gunther. Ethan Nicholas Hale. Hunter Allen Hall. Ross Elliott Hamey. Austin Dale Harbaum. Luke Michael Heiser. Jamie Lynn Sibler. Maria Filomena Pirzada. Jenna Renee Marsh. Kirsten Michelle Mays. Courtney Michelle Mazzaferri. Mariah Marie McCoy. Kelsey Paige McIntosh. Mackenzie Elizabeth McIntosh. Sydney Taylor Metzger. Lindsay Jill Milholland. Caitlin Michelle Minton. Kaylee Ryan Mullins. Taylor Alexis Pelfrey. Rebecca Jordan Nath. Kyle David Peck. Nicholas Colin Parrott. Nicholas Ryan Palmer. Jacob Dylan Kelly. Noah Christian Keene. Stephen Brady James Calick.
Quinn Ray Jones. Noah Blake Johnson. Cameron Joseph Johnson. Seth Allen Helton. Austin Stephen Henson. Jacob Paul Holmshire. Nicholas Michael Hood. Trevor Nicholas Sturgill. David Michael Howard. Austin Michael Hurley. Daniel Ian Justice. Hope Elizabeth Stidham. Allison Marie Seiler. Savannah Rose Sloniker. Destiny Danielle Pennington. Lauren Simone Phillips. Alexis Joe Podorf. Caitlin Ann Pruitt. Sydney Lexis Puska. Destiny Renee Estes Rieskamp. Alexis Paige Ross. Rebecca Ann Schiavone. Alexis Nicole Schneider. Kayla Irene Schneider. Noelle Renee Shepard. Sabrina Abigail Smith. Emily Dawn Souls. Erica Taylor Staten. Bailey Shane Osborne. Tyler Curtis Noble. Bryson Keith Niehaus. Liam Nathaniel Murray. Nathaniel Alexander Mossbarger.
Trey Michael Moore. Matthew Gunnar Lugers. Thomas Jacob Levan. Thomas Stephen Lindsay. Dak Anthony Mangeras. Zachary Scott Malott. Connor Thomas Miller. Carol David Moore. Austin Keith Purdue. Dristan Isaac Romero. Jason Leo Phillips. John Thomas Phillips. Marianne Swartz. Jordan Emily Tice. Madison Toon. Bailey Shea Vaughter. Bridget Lee Vogt. Alexis Ann Voris. Autumn Elizabeth Voris. Samantha Brooke Wagner. Michaela Joanne Watts. Jordan Reese Westerfield. Chloe McKenna Westerfield. Megan Renee Wise. Alexa Shea Wilson. Marcari Catherine Wolf. Alyssa Arian Stamper. Zachary Michael Poff. Jacob Scott Ratliff. Drew Bradley Reckart. Austin Lee Reed.
Christian Ty Regis. Kagan Wayne Reynolds. Devin David Rottinghouse. Shane James Rose. Austin Rose. Justin Nathaniel Robertson. Robert James Roberson. Dakota Lee Ryan Wise. Hunter Lee Taylor. David James Testis. Kevin Alexander Slay. Sam Joseph. Kyle Austin James Tidmore. Joshua Edward Wells. Sean Bradley Williams. Dylan Cole West Wilson. Anthony Charles Ziegler. Bailey Glenn Bubemeyer.
It is with great honor that I announce, by the power vested in me by the state of Ohio, I now pronounce the class of 2017 graduated.
Even though our time together and our time as Edgewood High School students has come to an end, the time of a whole new adventure is beginning with more memories and accomplishments to be made. Every single one of us have an individual journey ahead, but let's remember those who have loved and supported us and helped us get to this spot today. And that when times get hard and stressful, to keep pushing forward, putting your best effort into wherever life may take us. Take a moment right now to look around. Everyone, every single person in this room is cheering for us. Let us not forget that we will forever share the memories and be united as Edgewood Cougars. With that, I would like the class of 2017 to please rise. And to move your tassels from the right to the left. Congratulations, class of 2017, the official graduates of Edgewood High School.
All right, well, thank you all to the class of 2017. We wish you all the best, and we can't wait to see what you guys will do with all of your success. We're going to dismiss, but first, I'm going to dismiss our Board of Education members, administration, and our guests. Students, please look to your junior marshals to be dismissed. So at this time, you can go ahead and be dismissed. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you.